Welcome to Cam Look, your daily dose of art from the Cincinnati Art Museum. Each weekday, a staff member or volunteer will be sharing an object from the permanent collection and posing questions for discussion. Please check back at 10 a.m. every day for a new work and a new conversation. I'm Carrie Atkins Maras, Associate Director for Community Engagement at the Cincinnati Art Museum. Today, I'm going to take a look at a photo from the collection. It's fun to share photos in Cam Look because they are not on view as often as other kinds of art in the museum. They're light sensitive, so this format is awesome for sharing. This photo is by a local-ish anyway, he lives in Beaver Creek, Ohio, artist Ron Geibert. Geibert worked in documentary photography for the first 20 years of his career, and his work is in the collections of many museums aside from Cam: the Museum of Modern Art, the Center for Creative Photography, and the National Museum of American Art in Washington, D.C., among others. Taken in 1984, this photo is part of the time period when there was mainstream acceptance of color photography as fine art, which is interesting to think about. In terms of content, there's a lot going on here. I recently used this photograph as part of a conversation about conflict and compromise. It seems an unlikely candidate for that, perhaps, but when you consider competition as a product of conflict, it makes a little more sense. Here we see what appears to be a children's beauty pageant. This is supported, of course, by the title of the photo, quote, "Contestant, Little Miss National, Springfield, Ohio," end quote. The children in the photo are expressing a range of emotion, from sadness and disappointment to happiness, and even a bit of apathy, too. They are all wearing tiaras on their heads, dresses, and some have on small white gloves as well. If you look carefully, you can see one contestant also has on blue eyeshadow. The photo is taken at a slight angle, so the children line up on a slight diagonal across the photo. The figure closest to the center is cropped off right above the eyes, and the figure on the right is severely cropped, just showing a sleeve and a hand. These contestants are young enough that they very likely were not totally in control of the decision to be a part of this competition, and there seems to be a heavy influence on dresses and appearance. What do you think of the contestants? How does looking at the range of emotion shown here make you feel? One of the things that drew me to this image is the competitive nature of the girls depicted here, all the different ways we as viewers can interpret that playing out. Is this a classic image of an American rite of passage, or an image of an outdated way of judging children? Does the use of color contribute to your opinion about the image? In some Cam Look videos I've done, I barely ask a question, but in this one, I feel like I have more questions than answers. Thank you for joining me today. See you soon.